Xbox is set to get some of the best upcoming game releases for Xbox Game Pass, and I've compiled a list of the 30 best you don't want to miss coming 2023 and 2024 and beyond. I'm Sunny here at Xbox Central, and we kick this off with a game that has us ready to blast off into the cosmos like never before and ride on an epic journey, because Starfield, Bethesda's much-awaited space exploration RPG, is coming directly on a Game Pass on September 6th, and this is coming with a full-blown expansive open-world universe that stretches across 1,000 planets in space. With Starfield, you're going to have factions to join, quests to complete, aliens to fight, mysteries to solve, lands to conquer, and a protagonist who's fully voiced and ready to rock. Let's not forget those jaw-dropping graphics powered by the latest and greatest game engine that's going to turn your screen into a portal into another galaxy. So Lies of P is yet another epic-looking action RPG that's going to put you in the shoes of Pinocchio. And guys, this is no fairy tale. Lies of P is a dark fantasy take on the story of the beloved character, set in a steampunk version of this imaginative character. Now, as Pinocchio, you're going to be exploring the city of Krat, which has been overrun by monsters and corrupt nobles. Now, the thing that really excites me the most about this game is its Soulsborne inspired combat. It's fast-paced, it's aggressive, and it's impactful, where every move can really tip the scales between victory and defeat. And with its intricate branching storylines, Lies of P is going to ensure that no two playthroughs will be the same. Our next game is developed by Overkill Software and Starbreeze Studio, and that's Payday 3. This is a first-person shooter that is the sequel that many FPS fans have been waiting for a long time in the Payday series, including me. But with Payday 3, it's going to take us back to the world of epic heists and high-octane battles, but this time, the stakes are higher, the action is crazier, and the rewards are sweeter. Payday 3 is here to serve up a fresh story campaign that's set against the iconic backdrop of New York City, and guys, we can expect a whole lineup of new heists that'll have you planning your virtual criminal escapades in style. Things like bank robberies and jewelry store heists and nail-biting assassinations, and of course the stealth solo bank robberies that nobody sees coming. I mean, this game has it all, and it's all about to unfold on the screen on September 21st. Lamplighter's League is going to transport players to an alternate 1930s universe, and it's going to task you with leading a motley crew of bandits and rogues who maneuver battlefields on the fly before diving into a riveting turn-based combat. Now, Lamplighter's League offers a perfect mix of real-time infiltration and turn-based tactical showdowns. The dynamic combination of these elements really creates an engaging and immersive experience where strategy and quick thinking are going to be your greatest assets. You will have the ability to pick your own agents, survey your surroundings, set traps, and position your character strategically before that ultimate showdown. And the best part is, everything from the game world to props are procedurally generated, making every playthrough completely different. The most anticipated racing game title, Forza Motorsport, is making its way on Xbox Game Pass on October 10th. And guys, this is no ordinary game, but really a celebration of speed, precision, and jaw-dropping graphics. With a collection of over 500 cars at your fingertips, from classics to cutting edge, you're gonna have your pick of horsepower heaven in this game. And don't even get me started on the tracks, as Motorsport is set to feature everything from real-world circuits to dreamy fictional locations. And let's not forget the heart-pounding multiplayer action that's gonna have you competing against racers worldwide, all while giving your own customized ride the chance to shine. If you're a fan of city building games, it doesn't get much better than City Skylines 2, set to drop on Xbox Game Pass as a day one release on October 24th. Now, in City Skylines 2, this is a leap into the future of city simulation with a brand new dynamic weather system. Your city's functioning will be influenced by the elements, rain, shine, or snow, and of course the choice of how to navigate these challenges are going to be all up to you. The game will also feature a completely revamped transport system that gives you the tools to design intricate networks that make your city hum with efficiency. But that's not all. City Skylines 2 will also feature a new disaster system, from earthquakes to blimps gone wild. You'll be putting out metaphorical fires left and right. This really promises to be the bigger and better sequel to the original, and the original City Skylines to this day, guys, is literally one of the most daily played games around, so this second one is gonna be good. So the long-running fan favorite RPG franchise is getting yet another power-packed entry to the series with Persona 5 Tactica. This entry is gonna be a tactical RPG blast for the franchise. Now, imagine taking the Phantom Thieves of Hearts on a wild ride through the metaverse with turn-based combat vibes like Fire Emblem. This spin-off really, guys, keeps the Persona 5 world intact, but it throws in a whole new story to really spice things up. You'll be recruiting new characters, and you'll be collecting new personas, and you'll dive into battles that'll have you plotting like a pro. And guess what, guys? It's going to be on Xbox Game Pass right from the get-go, so no need to break that bank. So there's only a handful of sports games that really get me excited, and Football Manager definitely sits somewhere on that list. This franchise perfectly captures what it's like to be a football manager, and the next installment in the series, Football Manager 2024, is set to raise the bar even higher with a flurry of new features and enhancements. These include a more realistic match engine, improved scouting, enhanced training systems, and streamlined transfer mechanics. Players, guys, are really in for an immersive experience that really tops even the previous games. You can seamlessly transition from the field to the boardroom, making critical decisions that impact your team's destiny and dynamic in an evolving football landscape. If you guys are a fan of the Football Manager franchise, I really think you can expect a good one when this lands on Game Pass. So we have the game Ara History Untold. It's a turn-based historical strategy game developed by Oxide Games, where you're free to create your very own civilization and lead it through history. But in order to do that, you're going to have to manage your economy, research new technologies, build armies, and wage war against formidable enemies. But that's not all. You also have to deal with natural disasters, plagues, and other challenges. And from what I've learned so far, the game really looks super ambitious with the details. If the developers manage to get things right, this could be one of the better strategy games we've ever seen land on Game Pass. So the game Ereban Shadow Legacy is yet another promising title that takes you to a world full of darkness and mystery. At the helm is Ayana, the last descendant of a forgotten lineage with the powerful ability to meld with shadows, a skill that she employs to masterfully traverse her surroundings while evading or eliminating her enemies. The game's combat heavily relies on stealth mechanics, which makes it all the more intense and fun. Ayana can also climb walls and jump long distances and even perform acrobatic moves on the fly. The incredible agility really allows her to move around the environments quickly and efficiently, but if that's not enough, Ayana also's got some badass gadgets that will definitely get the job done in style. This looks like a promising title as it lands hopefully sometime in 2023. Now, if you're a fan of hardcore gunplay like me, I think Stalker 2 might just be the game for you. It's the highly anticipated open world first-person shooter that's set to take you on a gripping journey through the eerie Chernobyl exclusion zone. The game puts you in the shoes of a daring mercenary who ventures into the zone in search of valuable artifacts 3 decades after the infamous Chernobyl disaster. But even after all that time, this place isn't your average stroll in the park, not even close. It's a realm teeming with mutated creatures, radiation, and an unrelenting sense of danger. Despite the game's grim visuals, Stalker 2 looks absolutely stunning. You've got an arsenal of weapons as well at your disposal, but trust me guys, they're just a piece of the puzzle. Managing your health and radiation levels is going to be crucial, and mastering these aspects could mean the difference between life and a radioactive wasteland-induced death. The next installment in the long-running Fable series is set to drop on Game Pass as a day one release, and while it's going to be the 4th main entry in the series, it's not going to be called Fable 4, but just Fable. Set in the mesmerizing yet familiar realm of Albion, a world brimming with swords and sorcery, the game will have you fight against the encroaching darkness threatening to engulf Albion. The game promises to build up on the legacy of the franchise. It's promising an adventure that both pays homage to its predecessors, but it's going to introduce fresh, immersive gameplay. And with Playground Games' Forza Tech technology, Fable is set to have some stunning, gorgeous visuals and captivating gameplay. This has been in talks since 2020, and we still have no release date, but guys, hopefully we find out soon, because for me, this is one of my most anticipated on this entire list. With AI now slowly taking over the world, it's a perfect time to talk about the game Replaced. This takes you to an alternate 1980 world where robots have taken over the civilization, and you play as an AI trapped inside the human body with one mission: uncover the secrets of your past life and fight for survival in a merciless machine world. Replaced is a fine cinematic platformer where gorgeous pixel art meets epic action combat. It's like your favorite classic side-scrolling adventures got really this like cool futuristic upgrade. It also packs a branching narrative, which means your decisions will shape as the story goes. You've got the power to steer the tale in different directions, and from what I've seen so far, the combat is where this game really shines the brightest. So the game Jusant is an upcoming action-adventure game crafted by the skilled hands of Donod. This captivating experience unfolds on a mysterious island where exploration, puzzle solving, and the thrill of scaling massive mountains are going to take center stage. It's a journey that promises a perfect blend of relaxation and challenge, all wrapped up in stunning visuals. And as you scale these massive mountains, you're also going to come across a colorful cast of characters, each sharing their own past experience and secrets of the world. Flintock: The Siege of Dawn is an anticipated game on this list for good reasons. It's set in a fantasy world where gunpowder and magic coexist, and Flintock puts you in the shoes of Norvanik, a former soldier who must team up with a mysterious creature named Enki to stop the gods from destroying the world. Much of the focus in this game is set on the game's combat. Players can use a variety of weapons and abilities to annihilate enemies. The game also features a branching narrative with different outcomes depending on the player's choice. And by the looks of it in the early gameplay footage, Flintock definitely looks like it's going to be an absolutely wild ride, one that I have to say I'm personally looking forward to. Halibut's a game that puts you in the shoes of Harold, a young lab assistant who finds himself in the heart of a sprawling spaceship submerged within an alien ocean. The thrill? Exploring every nook and cranny of this enigmatic vessel while unraveling the secrets that lie within its past. You're in for a narrative adventure that's as captivating as it is going to be mysterious. You will come across a wide cast of colorful characters, each with their own unique tale to tell. But what sets this game apart from other adventure games is its unique visuals. It's a fusion of stop motion animation and 3D graphics, and I have to say, I think it looks pretty awesome. When the original Ark dropped, it had a lot of hype with its action-packed gameplay, great visuals for its time, and thrilling exploration. Well, Ark 2 is really set to push the limits and redefine survival gaming with its exciting new features and improvements. Powered by the latest Unreal Engine 5, Ark 2 will take you on a wild adventure filled with prehistoric challenges and insanely ferocious beasts. The game also promises to feature a revamped combat system, more complex crafting system, and of course it has Vin Diesel, who's playing the character of Santiago in the game. Ark 2 is like a tribute to everything that made Ark Survival Evolved a hit, while adding a fresh layer of excitement. And if you guys are a fan of survival games, I really think this one's going to be a no-brainer. So one of the games I'm looking forward to the most on this list is Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. This sequel is building upon the legacy of its predecessor. This action-adventure masterpiece really takes us back into the mind of Senua, the Celtic warrior who defies the odds in her quest to rescue her beloved from the clutches of the Norse underworld Helheim. But besides furthering the story, Hellblade 2 also offers a refined and more complex combat system, of course improved graphics using Unreal Engine 5, which the old graphics were amazing. This is set to really push those boundaries, and this game just isn't about gameplay, it's storytelling at its finest, drawing upon the Norse mythology and the human experience. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 weaves a tapestry that's emotionally gripping as it is visually captivating. Obsidian has given us some of the best RPG games ever, and Avowed is, I think, going to be just another addition to that long list. In this game, you play as a disgraced knight on a quest that could change the fate of the Deadfire Archipelago. As you dive into this action-packed role-playing game, you'll find yourself fully immersed in its vast and detailed world. The game takes a page from the Pillars of Eternity series, and it serves as a spiritual successor to the White March. That means you're in for a rich narrative where your choices hold the power to shape the course of the story. And much like its predecessor, you can expect the same intense and thrilling combat. And while we don't have a fixed release date, the game's expected to hit Game Pass sometime next year. So the game Hollow Knight Silksong is the highly anticipated sequel to the beloved 2D platformer that's set to drop on Game Pass as a day one release, but this time it's the fierce Hornet that's taking the center stage in the game. Set in a brand new realm called Farloom, Silksong will keep you engaged in thrilling battles against new enemies, taking on new puzzles, and mastering brand new abilities that promise to make the adventure all the more enthralling. We still technically don't have a release date for this one, but I think it's coming out sometime this 2023, but hopefully if not, sometime in 2024. The game Dungeons of Hinterberg is a thrilling action-adventure game where you hop into the shoes of Louisa as she embarks on a wild journey through the Australian Alps. Throughout this adventure, you're going to have plenty of things to do, such as snowboarding down a glacier, ziplining through the forest, and climbing a massive mountain, or just casually conversing with the locals at a bar. More importantly, there's going to be a plethora of battles to fight, there's going to be puzzles to unravel, and dungeons to conquer in this game. But in Dungeons of Hinterberg, it's all about striking a strategic balance of offense and intellect as you traverse through these cavernous landscapes. I think it'll be a good one when it drops on Game Pass sometime next year. If you're just finding out about South of Midnight, you're not alone. This gem was brought to the forefront by the latest Xbox game showcase, and let me tell you guys, it's absolutely worth your attention. Created by Compulsion Games, a studio that formed by a former developer of Arcane, this captivating adventure is set to whisk players away to a fantasy realm that's as mesmerizing as it is mysterious. Playing as Hazel, you'll journey through a stunning fantasy world filled with mythical creatures and wild beasts. South of Midnight looks like a promising story-driven adventure offering a whirlwind of danger, discovery, and enthralling twists. So it's been years since State of Decay 3's announcement, all the way back in 2020, and we're still waiting for that announcement, but Undead Labs, the guys behind the highly anticipated title, has given us nothing but a small trailer, which really only added to the long list of speculation around this game. However, looking at this trailer, I think we can come up with some things. We're going to get animal hunting mechanics, and of course zombie deers and zombie wolves potentially, and we can definitely expect to see a large open world, more realistic and menacing zombies, and a redefined crafting system and base building. And one thing that a lot of people don't know about this game, it's going to have a more fleshed out multiplayer system, so that's going to be interesting to see how they do. Of course, the game is also set to feature Unreal Engine 5, so it will be Undead Labs' first AAA release. We still don't have a release date, but hopefully we hear about it sometime soon. So the game Perfect Dark is headed to Game Pass, and this is set to be the revitalized version of the classic 2000 game that puts players in a world of high-stakes espionage and thrilling action. Perfect Dark places you in the shoes of a skilled secret agent, Joanna Dark, and your mission is to thwart a group of terrorists plotting a global onslaught in a near-future landscape. As the stakes escalate, you'll immerse yourself in a world of intrigue, danger, and heart-pounding challenges. But the good news is, this, guys. You have an arsenal of cutting-edge weapons and ingenious gadgets at your disposal to really outwit your enemies and stop them dead in their tracks. After hoping we see Warhammer 40k Darktide last year on consoles, we finally get a release this month, this October. This fast-paced action game combines intense melee combat with precision range shooting in a huge fight against demons and cultists, essentially trying to take you and your group out. The game features 4 playable characters, all with their own unique abilities and playstyles, and the big draw to this game is the co-op experience. You can team up with 3 other players either online or do some battles in local split screen, but you can also go solo if that's what you want. And guys, just the gameplay is just purely satisfying. Slaying hordes of enemies in this intense action-packed game really gets as fun as you can imagine. Been a big fan of this series since Vermintide released some years ago, and just the magic continues on Xbox consoles with this one. This is absolutely a game you don't want to miss in Warhammer 40k Darktide this year. The game Indiana Jones looks to be a faithful adaptation of the films with plenty of action, adventure, and of course puzzles to solve. The best part is the game's coming directly to Xbox Game Pass. Set against the backdrop of the 1930s, the game will have you exploring diverse environments from deserts to dense jungles and ancient temples, all in the pursuit of the elusive artifacts. There's no release date yet, but it should be a good one when it lands on Xbox Game Pass. Still Wakes the Deep's a game where you play as an offshore oil rig worker caught in the clutches of a relentless storm in the middle of the cold North Sea. You have one mission: locate your fellow crew members and fight tooth and nail to keep them alive. It's not going to be an easy task, especially with all the exits blocked and connections severed. The game was going to really push your survival instincts to the limit as you strive to reunite with your family while a dark entity relentlessly pursues you, really heightening the tension and ensuring that every moment's going to be full of danger. Routine was announced with a horrifying trailer, but what most fans don't know is that the game was actually announced over a decade ago before going radio silent for a long time, but it was re-revealed in the recent Summer Game Fest. Routine is an upcoming first-person sci-fi horror title that has you navigating the eerie corridors of an abandoned lunar base. In this game, players must confront these mechanical entities that have taken over the Forsaken Space Station, and the game features a futuristic world design with a touch of classic 80s aesthetics to really create a unique but unsettling ambience that's bound to keep you hooked for hours. It's a game where secrets lurk around every corner, and your survival hinges on stealth as you strive to avoid the watchful gaze of the menacing robot. Coming from the creators of Capcom, we have Kunitsu Gami, Path of Goddess, an epic-looking game that takes you on a wild journey that promises fast-paced combat and thrilling encounters. And while we haven't seen much of the game, the latest gameplay trailer definitely gives a tantalizing glimpse into the action, leaving us craving more of that dynamic combat that's set to unfold. As far as we know, the game's narrative revolves around an epic clash between the realm of spirits and the world of mortals. Your role in this titanic battle is going to be central as you navigate the mysteries that surround you and help put an end to this rivalry once and for all. The game 33 Immortals is an upcoming co-op action roguelike game where players step into the shoes of damned souls who defied God's final judgment. Now, as these rebellious souls, players must join forces to survive against the waves of menacing monsters, battle huge bosses, and confront the wrath of the divine adversary, all while striving to secure their eternal existence. The game features captivating hand-drawn art style imbued with a cel-shading aesthetics. 33 Immortals is going to be offering a fast-paced and thrilling gameplay with much of the focus on fostering teamwork and cooperation among players. You might be wondering, why is this game called 33 Immortals? That's because each game accommodates up to 33 players who take on these relentless waves of monsters all together. This one looks like a good one, but we still have no release date, so we'll of course stay tuned. And finally, we have the game Clockwork Revolution. This is a game that kind of came out of nowhere, but it really looks promising. Set in a bustling city of Avalon, the game puts you in the shoes of a mysterious stranger who wields the power of time travel, and as he time travels to the past, his interactions with people and the environment around him sends ripples across Avalon's narrative-driven world and the lives of the people in that present time. And while there's not much known about the story of this game, Clockwork Revolution's steampunk world with its Victorian-era metropolis setting really looks good enough to reel you in, mixed with this like crazy cool first-person action and definitely giving those strong BioShock vibes. Personally, this one's very high in my list and I can't wait to see this one. But if you want a list of the best 30 games on Game Pass, make sure you check out that video on the screen.